Bioenergetics, repeat, probably terms you mightn't have heard of before, but I would categorize the three biggest normie diets, as in, like, you've probably heard of them before. There's calorie counting, veganism, vegetarianism, whatever, and then carnivore or low carb or keto. They're the three main ones. If you are a person following each one of these diets, you operate every single day in a certain manner. That dictates your whole kind of worldview and how you live your life. With the calorie counters, they believe in order for you to be healthy or maintain a healthy weight at least, that counting calories is the only thing that matters. And your body has a certain amount of calories that it burns in a given day. And if you want to get bigger, you eat more than that baseline. And if you want to lose weight, you will eat below that baseline. Makes sense, is true on loads of different levels. There's no real issue with it. Like, more people probably should be conscious of the amount of calories that they're eating. I just wouldn't say it's be all and end all. But what they are focused on is the amount of calories in a food, which, if that's all you're worried about, you're going to run into issues, because I'm sure diesel has a caloric score or a caloric number. You know, there's a certain amount of calories in a piece of turf or in a piece of wood, but should you eat those based on their calories? Oh, wood is low calories, I should eat wood. You see how that kind of breaks down a little bit? And I know I'm being very extreme there and I'm just being a bit of an idiot, but at the same time, that's the fundamental view of that it's the calories that matter, and the macronutrients come into it a little bit, like protein, carbs and fats, but that's basically where it comes from. Veganism, vegetarianism makes sense again. Their perception really is that you should do no harm to other living beings, other animals. It makes complete sense. Like, around the time of lockdown, I had this kind of dilemma. I was like, well, the only two reasonable things to do to me at the time were to either go kind of vegan or to go carnivore. Because, I mean, you don't want to, I mean, there was the whole cholesterol issue, but I got that debunked. But you don't want to do harm to animals anyway. But now I've kind of flipped, being like, well, like, it's kind of just nature. There's no need to torture an animal. If you shoot an animal in the head in the wild, more than likely that's going to be a far more peaceful death than how they would normally die. Now, obviously, I wouldn't like any other animal to come and start shooting me and eating humans, but look, c'est la vie, it is what it is. So that's vegan. So calorie counters worry about calories. Vegans are worried about not even themselves, other beings. And carnivores then, and keto people, low carbers, are all about the food. It's all about the food has to be low sugar, low glycemic index, all that kind of stuff. High fat, keeping in ketosis, depends whether you're a keto, carnivore, whatever. And they actually, I mean, there's benefits to each one of these things, but it's fundamentally the worldview. Again, if you're operating every single day that I just have to keep sugar low, I think long term that's not going to be beneficial. But will you be getting bioavailable sources of your vitamins and minerals? Yes, now you might run into issues with some of them, but if you're throwing in organ meats like your liver and stuff like that, it's probably going to be, it's going to be better for you than eating a normal diet than, drinking bottles of Lucozade and stuff like that. And then comes the whole Ray Peat idea. Dr. Raymond Peat was from America, from Oregon, and he is a conspiracy theorist. Everything you type in Dr. Ray Peat on Google, you're going to get all of this. You get the conspiracy theories, you get all that stuff. Anyway, more than likely, if you're labeled a conspiracy theorist in this day and age, you're on to something. But he brought a lot of interesting ideas that followed on from the sugar not being bad to me. And from there, you get the bioenergetics term. That's kind of what his whole mantra is. That all diseases, now I could be butchering this, but from my understanding, all diseases come from an energetic deficiency. And what I mean by that is, at a cellular level in your mitochondria, there's dysfunction. And your body can't produce enough ATP. That's the energy currency in your body. It's like diesel in a car, ATP in your body. Now, you don't put in ATP, you put in glucose and protein and fat, and they turn into the ATP. But if your body can't do this efficiently, and you're going to start making exhaust fumes. So a person who is following the bioenergetics approach every single day, no matter what they do, whether it's eating, diet's only one part, whether it's light environment, whether it's exercise, it all stems from, how is this benefiting my mitochondria? How is this benefiting me at a cellular level and my energy production capacity? And I think that that's a better approach to health, rather than counting calories, rather than protecting other animals, rather than focusing solely on the food and keeping sugar low, which we'll get into the sugar in a future video. But yeah, that's it for now. That's the bioenergetic approach. Go look up Dr. Pete, and yeah, talk to you in the next one.